All right. So if this cannot be any clearer, this is the official Mortal Kombat 1 account. We are hearing players' requests for continued game support of Mortal Kombat 1. This is PR speak for we don't listen to you at all. And while we'll continue to support Mortal Kombat 1 through balance adjustments and fixes, there will not be additional DLC characters or story chapters released from this point on. Hallelujah! Praise the Lord! It's over! Right? All the glazing, all the shills, all the time and effort to take down other content creators or potentially try to take down other content creators, misrepresent them, lie about them, label them as toxic. Didn't do shit, did it? It didn't do fucking shit. Right? You want to know why? Because the silent majority spoke. Okay? Some of us in the content space have been talking about this since day one, right? Because some of us have this little thing that we listen to called our instinct. And in the real world, your instinct is your divine tap on the shoulder going, hey, something's not right here. Right? And it's the previous video where Realm was talking about it from day one, like I have and many others, that when they announced the cameo system would be the end of Mortal Kombat. And I'm pretty sure, I'd have to go back and check, but I'm pretty sure I got a video on my channel that was stating something of a similar nature, right? Whether I titled it that way or whatever, but I said that cameos is going to kill this game. Because nobody asked for it. Nobody. I mean, nobody asked for an assist Mortal Kombat game. Nobody. Right? It says here, we are hearing players request for continuous blah, blah, blah. There will be no additional blah. It says down here too, we understand this will be disappointing for fans. All three of them. But our team at NetherRealm needs to shift focus to the next project in order to make it as great as we possibly can. So basically, they put Ed Boon back in cryosleep. Right? They'll drag his ass out next time they start promoting this shit. Now, what it talks about here, focus to the next project in order to make it as great as we possibly can. Well, what project is that? If they announce Injustice 3, it will be the end of NetherRealm. Right? You'll get all the cocksucking faces out there. You know the people I'm talking about. Right? When they announce Injustice 3, and like, if they actually announce it officially, be like, right? You know that's going to be a whole slew of thumbnails that we're going to get, right? Yeah, it's over. It's done. Right? Stick a fucking fork in it. That's what you get. That's what you get, NetherRealm. NetherRealm, Ed Boon. This should be a wake-up call to Ed Boon. Right? Something, again, you know, I've been saying for the longest time about him and his fucking ridiculous notion of having to reinvent the wheel every time they make these stupid-ass games with their stupid mechanics, right? Stop pissing on the legacy. Now I'm going to say it again. In order to fix the future, you have to look back to the past. You have got to give us actual classic MK games, right? NetherRealm has been so desperate for so long to ignore their actual legacy. It's actually quite obvious now. It's really quite obvious. There's no other way to say it. They absolutely do not want, like, the legacy to be even spoken of or whatnot. Now, you might go, but Fate, they put a skin in the game. Well, that's just the skin, bro. That's not the game. That's not the actual fucking video game that we can load up and play this greatness again. Right? There's a big difference. I would do this shit for free. If NetherRealm rang me tomorrow and they said, listen, Fate, once we realized after throwing darts at your face in the break room, and we actually listened to your content, we realized you, TMK, Realm, and Booty Hunter, and a whole bunch of other people, Godly, right? Everyone, right? Everyone you can think of. I'm just trying to think of names right now. Sometimes I get a brain fart. I am elderly after all. So, we all think it. We all thunk it. And they're like, all right, how about we'll give you $1 million and you can help us fix Mortal Kombat. What's your idea? We'll listen to you, right? And I'll say, I don't want your fucking money. You give that money to John Tobias, you hire that guy back. That's how you start. You get him to oversee the classic collections, you hire Total MK and actually give him a job, right? Because my ability to travel is next to fucking zilch. So therefore, give him the option to be able to, actually be in a position and have these classic games authentically replicated and put into a collection, along with the overseeing and game direction of John Tobias. That's what I do, right? I don't want to get paid for it. I don't give a shit about that. I just want MK to be great again. That's it. That's all I want. You make the collections, you make them really good, you look at what Capcom's doing and try and one-up them. That's how it works. This is what World of Warcraft has been doing for decades. They see what other MMOs are doing, or they see what mods people have made over the years, and if some of those mods are really good and they're really popular, World of Warcraft, the team, will actually implement those mods into the game as a baseline, right? So then you don't need the mod anymore, and it just becomes standard as part of the game, right? So they need to look at what Capcom's doing and go, how do we one-up that? How do we change that? You know, I just thought of a simple thing, right? You could have it so you could actually change the menu. So imagine the menu for the classic collection is it lists all the games, like from so you can scroll through them, if you will, right? But the background behind it, you could actually change to any and all classic backgrounds from all the stages, right? So you might have Living Forest one day, you're like, yeah, I'm going to change it to the Armory. No, I'm going to change it to the Palace Gates. No, I'm going to change it to the Pit, right? That's what I do. As just one small thing to do that. Adding in a jukebox so you can have, like, you know, any of the music playing all the time. I can't remember if you can do that with the collection. I know you can. I'm pretty sure you can access the music. I don't know if you can actually set it as a jukebox. And I'd just be doing shit like that. I'd be looking at what they're doing and try to one-up them. You know, make it the collection wars, if you will. That's what I do. That's how you fix Mortal Kombat. Because the NRS experiment and all their shit and all the fucking paid, well, not paid shills, but the shills that obviously get some form of benefit for, you know, fucking canoodling their penises against each other, clearly hasn't worked. Isn't that amazing? All the influences, none of it worked. Not a single one. None of the pro scene that were glazing the game, none of it worked. None of it. The MK fans, the real MK fans, and I'm not saying there aren't MK fans, obviously, in the pro scene. There are, of course. And they're included in this when I say the real MK fans, we're the ones who decide whether a franchise lives or a franchise dies. Just like any product. We're the ones that decide. Right? Not vertical slices of people. Okay? So, Tab Mocker's like, I implore you to reconsider. Nah, let this game go, bro. Let it go. Here we go, baby. MK, Dooku for you. Dookie for you. Thank you for the transparency. At least, yeah. Yeah, you got to give them that. At least they're being transparent. Can we get this in the near possible future? Maybe include MK4 as well. That would be cool. Thanks. So, yes. we need to have, and I've said this before, the classic collections. We need to have a 2D classic collection, all the arcade ROMs, all the home versions, inclusive of MK Gold, Special Forces, and Mythologies, all with online play. Oh, they can't do that, Fate. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Right? Just making sure. Gotta always make sure. Right? You do that. Bellissimo. Perfect. Okay? Because Fight K can do it. Fight K can take all these old games and make them playable online. So I don't want to hear shit. Then you release the Dada Collection. The Deadly Alliance Deception Armageddon Collection, inclusive of Shaolin Monks, allows you to play the game up to 4K, which smooths out all the aliasing issues. You don't even need to remaster any of this stuff, by the way. No remastering whatsoever. Fairly cheap to do, if you will, in comparison to developing a whole new game or spending the time to remaster. Right? You don't need to do that. All online play. Right? The ability to turn things on or off, like unlock everything. So same with the classic collection. Just have a button, unlock all the ultimate MK3 characters. Right? Don't be stupid. Okay. Right? I would also include other variations of those games, like the PSP version. What was it? Mortal Kombat Unchained. We also had Mortal Kombat. We had the Wii version as well, which had obviously like the extra character with female chameleon. We would add that in there as well. That's all. Easy. Done. And then the third collection is the MK vs DC and MK9 collection. Now, naturally, the focal point will be MK9. And that's where we can start to talk about remastering. At the very least, use the PC version of MK9 and give us the original high-definition cutscenes for the story mode. Rollback netcode for both games. You may want to possibly remaster visuals for MK vs DC, perhaps, because they never made a PC version. Right? So you would obviously have to do something like that. Done. That's 3 collections, $1 squillion, and you get to give new and old fans what Mortal Kombat was, right? Title MK with a banger. Liu Kang is dead. Madoink womp womp. I know what he's doing there with that one, man. Kenny Bob, how you going, bro? He says we appreciate the amazing work you guys do. I can't wait to see what you guys, what you come up with next. Yeah, I am definitely Kenny Bomb he's like the light to my darkness, if you will. You know, he's a stand-up dude. Like, he's on the level, right? But he's just you know, he's happy with with what they got. And I'll never condemn people for liking the game either. If you like the game and you're happy with the game, then, all the power to you. I'm not going to take that away from you. That would be an asshole thing to do. But from my personal perspective as a customer to what they're doing, yeah, you can do a hell of a lot better. Absolutely. But shout out to Kenny Bomb. Much love, brother. Same to Total MK, Madoink. Martin, how you going, bro? Tagged us in. As always, how you going, brother? Ice Cream says, we hope you learnt from the mistakes of this game. A rushed product on launch with basic features missing while pushing heavily overpriced microtransactions. If anyone's interested to see how to actually make a complete a complete fighting game package, go check out my last live stream. Me and the boys were in on it. It's the one where I tile like Mortal Kombat, how I would do the gameplay or whatever it is. Go check out that stream. At a certain point, I load up Grand Blue. Now, since that stream, 3 of the boys have gone out and bought Grand Blue Fantasy vs. Rising. Mortal Kombat fans have gone out and bought that game. You want to know why? Because there's a fighting game and a fighting game package. It ticks all the boxes. Massive roster, loads of content, gorgeous graphics, great online netcode, plus minigames. There's actually a main minigame in it with Grand Brews, like a Fall Guys mode. Then you've got a couple of smaller minigames, kind of like old arcadey type ones. Then you've also got a crane game, like the old crane machines you get in the arcade to get stuff, and you never get because they're fucking rigged, right? There's a lot in this game. And that's 3 MK fans in the last 2 days, ever since I did that stream. 2 that night, actually, that actually bought the game that night while we were streaming. And then yesterday, Toby got his. I think it was, yes, was it yesterday, Tobes? Yeah. Right? Mortal Kombat fans. Just threw money down. Instantly impressed with this anime fighter. An anime fighting series, by the way, that's technically an AA release because it's not as big in name. Yet it's beating out games like Mortal Kombat 1 at EVO. Right? Because it's so comprehensive. It's got so much cool shit in it. Now, if you don't like it, that's perfectly okay. That's fine. But I have been advocating and promoting how good this game is anytime, any chance I can get, because it feels like it respects its lore. It feels like it respects its universe. It feels like it respects the player. And it wants to make us happy. How do they keep us engaged in the game? And they are doing it in spades, right? We appreciate you taking the community feedback to make the game better, but some of the stuff came a little too late. Yeah, maybe feedback on, like, you know, like even the Invasions was a bust. We're never getting that back again. We're never getting cameos back again. Thank fucking God, right? But they tried fixing Invasions by mixing it up a bit, but it was still a failure because the elephant in the room is the Invasions. That's the problem, right? Icy says, bring Mortal Kombat and characters back to its roots, make characters recognizable from what we knew in the Midway era in MK9. Yeah, like having different color palettes for the characters. Whose fucking bright idea was that? Bring back Creator Fighter. If you want to have... Look, they've made excellent technology when it comes to all the gear pieces and stuff like that. So take all that and make Creator Fighter. Let us have standard outfits that are thematically accurate to the characters. And then you can go make your own fucking character and take that character online and fight other creative fighters. Imagine how fucking cool that is. Imagine how fucking cool that is, right? Because it'll be broken, but that's what's part of the charm. It'll be funny, right? You're not going to EVO with your broke-ass character. You're just jumping online and having fun. Be able to share your characters, download other characters. Dude, like, fucking Soul Calibur 6 did it, right? The one being says, good. Honestly, MK1 is just a terrible product that nearly tarnished the franchise. Hopefully it's a lesson learned not to cave to the greedy corporations and sell half-baked game while asking for money at every turn with lazy content. Good luck in the future. Blitzer says, in order for the next game to be the best it can be, make sure it is not Injustice 3. The superhero fatigue is real. Fuck yeah, 100%. Blitzer's up here with the fucking banger. I've been saying that shit too, man. There is massive superhero fatigue. Nobody gives a shit anymore. Nobody cares anymore. Why? Because they let DEI and stuff ruin superhero movies and TV shows, and people just checked out. Right? Even with this new Superman coming out, I always used to love seeing Superman movies because they're always like really good. Even the Brandon Routh Superman, I thought was pretty good. Heavily underrated now. Heavily underrated, right? But no, never got this Superman and his fucking dog. Like, what's next? He turns into a furry? I don't know. But anyway, Muggsy says, my summary of MK1, I still can't believe the roster had all ninjas. Such an amazing gift to the fans. How do I put this as delicately as possible? Imagine you're on the toilet and you take a shit. And before you have time to flush, your girl walks in naked and says, right, we're going to have sex immediately on the toilet seat that you haven't flushed yet. That is them adding all the ninjas to the game. Yes, you go, ooh, that's kind of cool. But gee whiz, I can't get over the fact that there's giant fucking stink under me. I am Australian. You're just going to have to forgive me for my humour. Inclusion of many 3D characters is also welcome. Most of the ones that we probably wanted were actually on the bitch bench. Right? Stifling the entire Special Forces crew. Still can't believe that happened. But kind of miss Jax, Kano, and Sonya. Well, I don't give a shit about the Special Forces like label. What I care about is that these three were the original characters. You literally set up a new timeline set it in the modern day, but somehow they're missing, right? I'm not reading all that. This is what I agree with, though. Overall tone felt off. Yep, that's all you need. Dude, that's all you need to say. So you can take away this essay and just, like, edit and just make it that. That's it. I hope you all really consider what made MK so loved during MK9 and MK10. This glazing of MK10 just needs to stop. Just needs to stop, right? Just let it go. Let it go, bro. Right? Just put the bag of bricks down, right? Just let it go. No one gives a shit. Right? This is what I mean. Right? This is what I mean when I say NRS fanboys. Because they forget that there were actual MK games that came out prior to it. Right? And the reason why people mention MK9 and include it under NRS, it's just because it was essentially like dates that lined up, right? Mortal Kombat 9 was a midway developed Mortal Kombat game, which is why it felt so amazing. Which is why when you compare it side by side with Mortal Kombat 10, in every aspect it feels way different. It feels like we had a fictional fantasy Asian themed tournament style fighting game moving over to a very horror-esque, dark, depressive, you know, like I'm living in a fucking bowl of dirt, like a mushroom in my room somewhere in a corner type of fucking feel. It's all just dark. Why don't they just call it Dark Combat? I mean, that used to be game mode, but whatever. Well, GG says Headlock Gaming. Thank you for the game bringing Ashra back. Now we begin the speculation about what the next MK game will be. MK1 sequel. All a long way. If you call it MK2, I will be so angry, my fucking hair will grow back. You don't want that. You don't want a hairy fate. Don't call it MK2. My son's laughing over here. He can hear me. Right. Don't call it MK2. Right. Do not call it MK2. You called it MK1. That itself was disrespectful enough. It was a lovely summer where the whole community was together, hyped for the new game. Then you dropped the Lin Kuei trailer showing off Smoke. I couldn't have been happier. I love MK always, but let this game be a lesson on what worked and what didn't. So barely anything worked. That's why it was a flop. Why do you think Ed Boon? Now you know when, you know, like Brody in the beginning of his video. Oh, Ed Boon's not lying when he says these things. Nah, fam. He's only just posting fucking pictures of charts and sales figures and going, look how wonderful we are. And then they literally come out now and go, right. Ed Boon once again. This is a Jimsu. Ed Boon once again disappearing from the face of the earth when shit goes down when the community need him most. MK1 is great, but dropping updates before its 2-year mark hurts. The community is ditching MK from the big 3 podium due to its decisions. Street Fighter, Tekken, Guilty Gear, and King of Fighters thrive with longer support, making them better time investments for fighting game fans. Yeah, that part at least is true. But again, I would throw in Granblue. I'm telling you, like, Granblue is undercutting all of these games, and everyone's fucking sleeping on it. Everyone's sleeping on it. It's the best character roster. It's the best game modes. It's the best amount of content. It's got, like, even the best battle passes. The battle passes are the cheaper than any of these other fighting games combined or have been offering, outside of MK1. But they're battle passes, aka invasion seasons. I mean, I'd much rather pay just the $8 and knock out the grind in about 8 to 9 days. That's how bad Invasions is. I'd much rather pay for a better experience. Good job. All great game. I know a lot of the struggles NRS had internally during the dev and launch of MK1. Oh, you do you? Oh, okay. I like making shit up as well. I have zero complaints and sincerely satisfied with this product overall. Let's move on to the next great product with patience. Now, again, everyone is allowed to enjoy it. But sometimes, you can smell the glazing. Do you know what I'm saying? You can smell the, the tongue in the bum. Right? As an OG MK fan, this is one of the worst Mortal Kombats ever from NRS era. Hopefully the next MK game goes back to its roots. Yeah, its roots. The 2D Legacy era. Yes. Use the past to fix the future. Let's go. Super hype for the next chapter of MK. Take all the time you need. We'll be here waiting and salivating like responsible adults. Just one humble request. Please bring back rooms in the next game. My social life peaked in these lobbies. How about new shop skins? Yeah! Dude, we're not even getting that. Biggest L. Greed ruined Mortal Kombat. Yeah, I know. Some of us were actually trying to warn you fucking people, but no. Ed Boon said there were multiple projects running. This was before MK1's announcement. Does this mean that the team is focusing on those projects from this point forward? The good thing, you confirmed at the right time. Thank you so much for your hard work for this game. Personally, I enjoyed it. Now, please take your time to give us a really new good game. We're all with you guys, and we love you. Thanks. I don't love them. Am I wrong? Is that a weird thing to say, that I don't like? I can say that a developer put out a really great game and I can really love the game, right? But when I see people go, I love you, NetherRealm, I love you, Ed Boon, woo! No, I don't know. Something just feels funny there. Does that make sense? Like, I don't get to that point. I was. 1 point. MK9. Now, I'd have to dig through my old DVDs, because I actually saved all my old videos from my very first channel, right? And I had a bunch of MK ones on there, and I'm pretty sure I've got the trailer that I made at the time. Some of you might remember, if you're around then. It was a thank you to NetherRealm for making MK9, right? And I was using, obviously you could do this back then. It was a soundtrack, like clip of the song from Vexil, the anime movie, from the Jaeger fights, or the big, like essentially the big mechanical worms, or the junk that forms together, and they create these big like sandworm type things out of like mechanized parts. It was the music from that fight near the end of the film, and so I made a big trailer, with gameplay and stuff like that, and words and shit, to thank them. In the same vein that I've done other edits that you guys have seen on the channel. And because I was so excited, I could not believe, you have no idea, as an MK fan then, after suffering the 3D era, and then suffering MK vs DC, which I thought would be the last of that fucking fetish of Ed Boon's, that we get the announcement of Mortal Kombat 9. And apart from obviously them banning it in this country for a period of time, like, you have no idea how fucking chubbed up I was. Like, we were all excited. We felt like we were getting the respect that the 2D era got in a modern retelling, right? Everything about that game is nigh on perfect, except for a couple of things, right? But it was insane. Like, you have no idea the hype. I mean real hype. I mean real hype for MK9. I mean just like Rockstar just showed up on your front door hype. Your favorite Rockstar, your favorite band. That's the shit I'm talking about. It was insane. I've never felt anything like it. And the last time I felt something like it before that was the classic 2D MK games. Right? Now, I know everyone's experiences are different, and that's perfectly fine. But what I'm saying, though, as a collective of the MK community at that time, where we thought MK was done, and it was just, falling off, like what it's doing now, I really hope that NetherRealm If anyone at NetherRealm watches my videos, I want you to pay. I don't care about if you don't like the rest of the stuff. You don't listen to the rest of the stuff, but I want you to think about this one thing. The reason why MK9 was so successful is because you looked at your past and realized what people loved. That's why it was successful. And you took that legacy and you built on it. Right? That's why it was so successful. Because that's what you did. Right? Oh, my fucking headset just turned off. There we go. Right? NK was an amazing game once things got moving. Yeah, so was a bowel movement. For fuck's sake, nobody likes the cramps and the big turd waiting at the entrance, you know, waiting to pop out. The fuck is going on here? Right? I won't be purchasing the Mortal Kombat game day one and will wait for content to drop later. I truly hate guest characters in cameo. Yes, Injustice 3, please learn from this. Yes, by not existing. We don't want Injustice 3. Nobody wants Injustice 3. Except for fans of superhero shit. But considering that NetherRealm, aka the Midway Mortal Kombat team, made their name making Mortal Kombat, if they make Injustice 3, it'll be the end of them. That's it. It's over. It'll be the end of them. Right. Great. We'll never get Goro and Raiden's love child. Serious question. Why not just make a good game and support it for as long as fans support you supporting it? Here we go. I assume because the casual audience cash out on marketing release cycle is more profitable? Well, no, I don't think so. I think MK fans in general support the MK franchise even if you don't have a favorite. For example, right, and I said this yesterday, you can have a favorite band that puts out some garbage albums, but you'll probably still buy the albums. Usually because you don't, well, at least back in the old days, you couldn't preview stuff. So you just had to buy it. But you know, you might have one or two songs on there, but by and large, you're like, nah, I don't really care. Like, I'm a big Alice in Chains fan, right? And Three-Legged Dog, which is one of their later albums, was very heavy compared to the rest of their stuff. I mean, really heavy, like, sort of almost like a dark feeling. There's a couple of banger songs on there, but by and large, it's not my favorite album, but I still bought it because I'm a fan of Alice in Chains, right? So it's the same thing here. You know, Mortal Kombat, you know, you'll still buy it. I haven't told anyone not to buy it or support it, right? Because at the end of the day, it's your money, it's your time, and your ability to find happiness, if you will. But, you know, MK1 was just slop. Like, glittered with, like, tiny pieces that might have been okay. But, no, it's not good. Good riddance, says Daniel. Can we just get the classic Mortal Kombat games in a collection now? Perhaps Deadly Alliance, Deception, Armageddon as well. Your new games suck. Get fucked. Cinema. Can you offer a definitive upgrade for people who own both packs at a deeper discount? It's currently $59.99 for me. Yeah, this is Warner Brothers we're talking about. They'll probably charge you more for asking. Okay, but can you, Boone, please stop saying that games will be supported for years and there will be more and more characters, etc.? Like, just stop giving us false hope like that. Yeah, there's a word for that. It's called lying. Yeah, he's never beaten these allegations. Right. Time for Injustice 3. See you 5 years. Nobody wants Injustice 3. Nobody wants that bullshit. Right? Nobody wants that shit. Do a last one. We'll do a last one. Corey says, we really hope you will listen to fans because because not going to lie, this MK would have been peak if there'd been cameo-less tag team mode. So a tag team mode would have been preferable over cameo mode because in order to make tag team mode, you'd still have to develop every character to its fullest capacity. You can't have it rely on its tag to fill in the gaps. you would have to make every single character be able to stand on its own, because what if you choose the two same characters? I mean, some games allow it where you can choose the same character twice. So that's you know, that's what I would do anyway, personally. You have asked fans what DLCs we want to see. There'd be less microtransactions. Yeah, as in like so. Yeah, I would completely rework that whole thing. You'd make a well-built story. Well, we've talked about that at length. We don't want cinematic story stuff returning in the capacity it is. I don't. And I've already given detailed instructions and details on how they should do it. There'd be basic functions and stuff. So yeah. So that's it. That's it. All right. Any and all goodwill that you had is utterly annihilated. Right? And sometimes you have to fall to learn how to pick yourself back up again. And I really hope they learn from this. I really do. Because otherwise, this will be a dead franchise and nobody is going to want to develop for it until it gets sold off, because Warner Brothers is sick and tired of them losing money in their gaming division. And they'll just sell it off. And then one day we might get Mortal Kombat being great again. Now, for those of us that are out there that are still at the end of this video, thank you so much for sticking with this long one. I do appreciate it, and everything else that you guys do and support the channel. You can play the old MK games. Okay? There's a section on my Discord called Fightcade. If you are into the idea of wanting to play the classic Mortal Kombat games, like MK 1, 2, 3, Ultimate online, including the home versions of those games at the time, jump into the Discord, jump into Fightcade. You can download the Fightcade that's on there. It will automatically give you the games and access them for you to do it, rather than having to do it the more painful way of finding the games and putting them in there. The Fightcade is a free app. You can join up to 3 rooms at a time, and you can get online with people all around the world and play these games. And the netcode is just as good, if not better, than what we get in modern fighting games. Right? Outside of that, if you want to play the classic games regardless, you can do it through emulation. I have showcased some of the games on the channel. The 3D era especially, running at 4K, and they look beautiful. Crisp, beautiful, run at 60 frames, gorgeous. You have these options out there for you to play these games. Don't let modern slop ruin great meals that you had before. Right? You can still enjoy those meals. Just ignore the trash fast food. Right? So don't let this stuff like make you go, oh, that's it, it's all ruined for me. Don't do that. You don't need to do that. All you need to do is just make it so that you can have these classic games in your hands and enjoy them how you remember. And that will reignite the passion and solidify your stance that this is the type of stuff that NetherRealm should be looking back to and going, yes, how do we make MK truly great again? Anyway, guys, I'll leave it there. Let me know what you think. Catch you next time.